Alright guys, today we are doing the fuel lines and primer ball on a Hitachi RB24 EAP blower. First thing we're going to do is take off the air filter cover. All the parts are going to be in the description below. Oh, look at that air filter. Woo, that thing's toast. Carburetor, primer ball, fuel lines. If I can find the carburetor, I'll put it in there. Pretty sure that I can find this carburetor. Alright, next we're going to take out the two Phillips head bolts. Okay, so we can go ahead and remove the fuel lines from it. We're going to go ahead and dump the gas out of it. Well, it's a good thing this guy couldn't run it. It didn't start for him. There's no oil in that gas at all. So now we're just going to pop the grommet out. A little flathead screwdriver, you get it up underneath it and pry it up. I need both hands because it's just sliding around. Pops right out. Just a little rubber grommet. So again, if I can find the whole kit, it'll have carburetor, everything in it, grommet, everything. This grommet's good. I'm just going to change the fuel lines out, save this guy a few bucks. Cut the fuel line into a point, stab it in one of the holes, and then pull it through about 3 or 4 inches. So you've got your line in, the bottom is, like 4 inches. You basically want it to where it'll sit on the bottom of the tank when you stab it back in. All right, stab a new filter on the end of it. Put it off about 2 inches, 3 inches on the top side of it, because this line right here is the fuel in to the filter. So it'll come straight out and it'll be right there. So we'll actually be cutting off some of this line to make it fit in there properly. All right, cut this into a point again and then shove it through the second hole. Pass it through about 1 inch. Leave it long so you know that that's the return line. Return line is going to go to the primer ball on your air filter assembly. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and just put this back in to the tank. We're going to get the grommet, the back side of the grommet in the tank like that. Then we're going to push with a flathead screwdriver from one side to the other. Just push it in slowly. Don't stab yourself in the hand with a screwdriver. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and pull this grommet out. These two barbs, if you squeeze them together, you can push them. You can push this whole thing out. It takes 2 hands. You gotta pick this up and then squeeze it. Or it doesn't even matter because it's an old one. Just whatever you gotta do, you can snap them off. Whatever you gotta do, just get them out. We're gonna put the new primer ball in. Comes from the kit in the description. So we want the 2 barbs. All right. Yeah. So we're gonna put it in this way. 2 barbs on each side is all. To get it started in there, you just push real hard and it'll click right in, and then it's in. All right, so the short one is suction. That one is going to go to this one, so it's going to be a little piece of fuel line that goes there. The long one is return. It goes to the long line here. So we're going to kind of line this carburetor up and figure out how much length we need to go from there to the primer ball and cut that much off the end of this line. Maybe 3 inches or so, like that. All right, so this is suction. It's the short side of the short nipple on the primer ball. The return is going to go to here. It doesn't have to be that long. We're going to figure out how much length we need. And then we're going to cut it off and stab it on that. That's the return. The return hooked up. This last line goes to this bottom nipple right here. That's the one that goes to the filter. All right, so we'll put our bolts through the air filter assembly and then through the carburetor. We're going to put our gasket onto the bolts, paying attention to this little hole. It needs to line up with the little hole here. Hold on, let me give you a little light. That little hole on this and the little hole on your carburetor. That's the vacuum line that runs your fuel pump. Very important you have this gasket in the right way and in there at all. Don't worry about it if if you rip that one when you're taking it off or whatever, the kit usually comes with new ones. That one's fine. So, all right, now we're gonna go ahead and line this up to the intake manifold and screw it down. Just make sure that none of your lines are being pinched behind the carburetor. Everything is sitting in there properly. Now we're gonna dump a little gas in this and make sure it primes up. If it primes up like this, it's a good sign. It means everything's freaking working properly. If it's not priming up, you either got the lines hooked up wrong, go back in the video and try doing the lines again, or your carburetor could be bad itself and you replace the carburetor. Yeah, all right, so now we'll put the gas cap back on. New air filter and an air filter cover. I gotta go in my drawer and look for it. And then fire it up, you're ready to go. All right, guys, I hope this helped you out. Give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. All the parts will be in the description below. Today's t-shirt will also be in the description below. If you want me to wear one of your business shirts, mail me one. I'll be more than happy to do some advertising for you. Peace.